want to do a little throwback. I want to do a cold take, and it's featuring the man Obama.
I want everybody to listen to each other. So I want Mr. Kaepernick and others who are on a knee, I want them to listen to the pain that may cause somebody who, for example, had a spouse or a child who was killed in combat, and why it hurts them to see somebody not standing. But I also want people to think about the pain that he may be expressing about somebody who's lost a loved one that they think was unfairly shot. And you know, one of the things I always say about...
See, I'm a fair guy. I could have cut it off right when he had the cold take and he said the thing about Colin Kaepernick and that he needs to think about, you know, the soldiers and that bad narrative. But I said, you know what, let me let him continue so you guys could see that he did the both sides-isms. You know, he did both sides. This is a cold take because this was back in 2016, and we know why Colin Kaepernick knelt. It had nothing to do with military. Matter of fact, he got advice from somebody that was a Green Beret, and he was the person that actually, his name is Nate Boyer, and he actually was the person to say, hey, if you really want to honor the troops but also protest at the same time, please kneel during the and let me show his face here real quick. Yeah, so basically he was just sitting on the bench and not acknowledging the anthem at all. And then he went, and because he got advice from Nate Boyer, he was told him to kneel, and that would show respect to the military. So here is Obama taking the framing of the Republicans, of Donald Trump of all people, and I mean, he's just feeding it. Go ahead, guys.
I mean, to be fair, it was before Trump, so it wasn't.
No, I believe it was during the campaign, and wasn't it Trump? It was before Trump was president. Yes, if that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So this is interesting. You brought it up because yesterday I had a long conversation with my wife because she doesn't like to get into politics, and you know she's black, so Obama as a symbol is great, but she wasn't aware a lot of the bad things he did as president. So we had a long conversation about that. But one thing that this clip shows, and that I was talking to her about, that Obama tried really hard not to be the black president. He wanted to be seen as just a president that happens to be black, but he didn't want to be seen as a president that's doing anything extra at all for black people. And he's a smart guy, so I'm sure he knew the reason why Colin Kaepernick was kneeling, but he wanted to be seen as fair and balanced, you know, to fake news. So it's really horrible to me. That's like, it's just throwing it in people's faces that he doesn't care about black people, pretty much.
Totally.
Carlito is always, every time we chat, Carlito is always about negating that whole BS notion of both sidesism, right? And that's exactly what Obama is doing right here. These two sides are absolutely not equal. And I think at this point when Obama made that quote, it was already widely publicized that Colin Kaepernick had already spoken to the guy in the military, and, you know, got his buy-in, got his, you know, his input. So, I mean, you can't be Obama. I understand you're speaking to a military guy on the stage. I understand you're speaking to the American public, but you cannot act like both sides of this equation are equal. It's just, it's BS.
Yeah, and with the kneeling itself, you just look at the action of kneeling. It's the most respectful thing you can do. You kneel at church. You kneel at a funeral. You kneel when the coach is talking to you. It's literally the act that you kneel before a monarch or a king. Like, it is the quintessential action of respect. So for the right wing, for the moderates to say, oh well, you know, if he shouldn't do it this way, and it's disrespectful, it just ignores even just what the action of kneeling is.
Yeah, but just this week we just had clear evidence that they really don't care about kneeling at all, because when we saw that Kansas City and whoever, I don't know, I don't watch concussion ball, but I saw that clip. They were standing, holding arms. They didn't kneel. They were standing up, and the crowd of like 17,000 was still booing them. So they don't care about the kneeling. They're just racist.
I don't think it was ever about the kneeling. I think it was always I don't care about Black lives, and that's where Obama screwed up because Obama's a professional at not being a hot taker. He has never really stuck his neck out for anything in the past. He has always been just, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to step on any toes.
Yep.
Maybe you should listen to the military, which is silly because I don't think anyone had an issue. The military was the people who least had an issue. The people who most had an issue with the kneeling were all the Fox News people who more than likely weren't actually in the military. They just don't like black people. They don't like people who aren't white. And they don't care about police brutality. They just want these superstars on a pedestal to go play puppet and hit each other really hard and then score points for their hometown.
Yeah, it had nothing to do, again, they had a problem because it was a black athlete did it. When Tim Tebow did it, Tim Tebow was a hero. You know, he was doing abortion. Everybody's like, oh my God, he's a hero. He believed in his Christianity. It's all about that. Everybody celebrated because the black man was kneeling police brutality. They found something because what America do, we find whatever it is that we want to fall on. And they were like, oh, we're disrespecting the flag. We're disrespecting the military. And when you look at the flag, a lot of these people, like all those rules and regulations that the flag have, America disrespect the flag every single day.
Every single day, yeah.
You're not supposed to use it as a clothing item or anything like that. And it's constantly being used. So it's like you find this excuse that you want and they get on that and everybody believes it and they made it about the military. And when you do talk to a lot of military, they tell you like, we didn't have an issue. And, you know, the reason why we do it is for freedom of speech, freedom, for you to be able to express how you feel. And the way he expressed it, it was nothing disrespectful about it. So again, it just had a problem with a black man doing it.
At this point, if it's 2020 and you're still watching concussion ball, like, come on, what are you doing? Like, you can see the fans and what they stand for. You can see that it's not about it's not about the cause, or it's not about patriotism. Is literally it's a combination of racism, and you also have these owners of the franchises that still have not come out and said that they support this. You know, you have Roger Goodell being the fall guy. I saw Jamil Hill talking about it, and she said that Roger Goodell, it's okay for him to be the fall guy, but you never see the owners doing the right thing. And it's just a shame that that's where we are, that 2020 people, black people, Spanish people, people of color still supporting this sport that doesn't give a damn if they live or die. So
it's ridiculous because they have so many other examples to go based off of. The NBA, for one, I'm not a big sports guy, but they have made all the right steps in regards to this stage of like social, just like this current outbreak, and not outbreak, but like this current eye-opening moment that made everyone not more aware, because everyone's really always known about racism and racist tendencies, but like they have accepted the movement and they have strived to, at the very least, respect their players, you know, not sort of you're a puppet, dance for money. Even NASCAR, what can be assumed as the most racist sport, it's just they took the right steps to acknowledge this moment in time. And the NFL has just closed their eyes and said, do this, let's ignore it, and we'll make money anyways.
Well, I don't think, I think the NFL, I don't think they have ignored. I think they ignored in 2016. They trying to backtrack and be like, oh, Kaepernick was right. I wish we would have done things differently. You know, but they still don't.
And they still don't give him a job also.
And then you still blackmail, you know, and still don't, no team still give him a job or anything.
Hey man, they did put a thing on the end zone, you know, that counts for almost nothing.
But going back to that Kansas City clip real quick, right? Like, shows you like those people don't care because your star player is an African American, your star wide receiver is African American, your biggest defensive guy, so like half of your team and all your star players are African Americans, and the minute that you ask for a moment of equality to fight racism, you boo. So like they just show, like I wouldn't know how as a player, if I was playing for that team, how would I feel? about it.
That's a good point. Hopefully, to button up this conversation, I'll say this last point. If I were president, if I was President Obama at that moment, I would use my platform to change the narrative, or correct the narrative. That's a better way of putting it. And let them know, hey, Colin Kaepernick is doing this as a way of showing respect. It has absolutely nothing to do with disrespecting the military. This is a false narrative, and he could have brought up Colin Kaepernick to that same town hall. He could have had Nate Boyer come to the same town hall and have them explain it, and him being the president is going to reverberate throughout the media a lot more than what they try to do on their own.
Yeah, last thing is what people want from their black athletes is just shut up and entertain them. That's it. They don't care about them as people.
That's it. So I want to hear from you guys in the audience, in the comments below. Like, what do you think about Obama constantly showing that he's not a progressive? He's not. He's a middle of the ground, no drama Obama. Yeah. And it seems just time and time again seems to get in the way of progress. Is it just me? Is it, let us know in the comments below.
If you like what we're doing, like and subscribe and leave a comment. That'll help this message get out to more people.